Namaskar and welcome to this exciting show on Sattology, debunking mythology, where for the Janmashtami, we had regular shows and we heard many people talking about Krishna and how he spoke Bhagavad Gita to the politicians, and you really liked our shows last time. Today we have a very special guest, joined right from Chile, which is the southernmost tip of South America, and he has joined us. He has been a practicing monk, a guru, a teacher, a spiritual master, and he has joined us to explain more to the world at large that what is Krishna's message to the politician. We are all in election seasons, and every 2 years it starts again in the US, but in India it's going to be after 5 years. So, but many states all over the world are going through elections. The message of Bhagavad Gita is universal and applicable to all politicians. As I put in my second book, The Making of a Statesman, and in that book was hugely well received, and it's like a textbook for many politicians. I got calls from heads of states in Africa, Asia, who appreciated that book. And that book is based on Narad's instructions to Yudhishthir on governance. But here is speaking to the whole world, to all the politicians, training them in this science. So without delay, let us welcome His Holiness Atulananda Swami from Chile. Hare Krishna and welcome.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for this invitation. I feel very honored. Honored.
No, I think your personality is very pleasing. So many people loved your last show, and I think on YouTube you got more than 3,000 views across the world for the last show.
Thank you very much, but congratulations for this so nice service that you are doing to the full humanity through this Sattology. Most important because Sattology means reality. No, Sat is reality, Sat is eternal, the eternity. So this is the real thing. So also what Krishna wants to say to politicians, it is the real thing, it is the best thing for them. Because actually politicians, they are representing God. This is the real thing. No? So God, Krishna is looking them very carefully. What they are thinking, what they are feeling, what they are their desires, no, and because Krishna, the Lord, He is full of love. So first of all, He wants the politicians to be like father and mother, no, for all the citizens, because citizens, they are putting their faith on them. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Yad acharati sestas tatat vetaraganat sayat pramanan kudute lokastadanovartate. People, citizens, they are following their kings, their leaders. That this is the meaning of leader, no, the one that I must follow. So I have the great responsibility to give the right direction. Well, I think that the message of Krishna is very, very high.
So, because Maharaj, just a second. So when let me put a question. So I don't want to increase the pride of the politicians by today claiming them to be representatives of God, but you are absolutely right. According to scriptures, they are considered but most of the politicians don't think that way. So, and Arjun is a warrior, like you know very well. Arjun is a warrior, and this Bhagavad Gita was spoken for the kings because the parampara was lost. So, uh, so why these teachings, or how these teachings become more relevant today than before? They're always relevant in the past, but more relevant today for all the politicians of the world. Please go ahead.
Yes. Yes. Now it's more relevant because now we are in a very troublesome situation, very problematic. So many wrongs have been done for so many years. You know? So when something is very bad, we must do a lot of things to correct. You know? For example, if somebody is very sick, we must give a lot of medicine to cure, you know, to help him. You know? So now society is in a very sad condition, in a very bad condition. So need a lot of medicine, a lot of light. When there is a lot of darkness, we need more light. So now the message of Lord Krishna is is very needful, you know, more than ever. You know? Yes, when I say that politicians, they represent God, I mean to say that they must represent God because this is their duty. This is the duty of every person, not only of politicians, because also father, mother, everybody must represent God, because God is the absolute good, and we always want the absolute good for everybody. But now, of course, it's more needful than ever to take in consideration the instructions given by Krishna, because if we want to have a society, a right society, a enlightened society, a pure society, the leaders must be pure, must be enlightened. They must know what is the real objective of life. This is the first thing. If I will conduct the society, I must know where I will conduct the society. You know, what is the goal of human life? So this is the first thing that Krishna is teaching us, that the whole universe comes from Krishna and it is for Krishna. So we must go to him. So the whole society must go to him. So this is the first, I think so, the first instruction that politicians must always remember, you know, that our life is for the real, is for real happiness, real knowledge, real peace, real liberation. You know. So if I want a high thing, if I want the highest, this must come from the highest. And the highest is talking to us, is teaching us through Ramayana, through Mahabharata. Krishna himself, he comes to the earth many times as Lord Rama, as Lord Krishna, as Prithu Maharaj. He's coming for teaching us how to be a right king and a right queen. Both of them are very needed. You know. Sitaram, Radha and Krishna, Archie and Prithu, and many others incarnations of the Lord who came to give the right instruction. As Parasuram, for example, he was also correcting bad politicians. As Kalki, he will come also to correct if we don't act in the right way. So it is a very, very big responsibility to be a politician, because you can take, in Srimad Bhagavatam it is said, if the politician is good person, he will take the sixth part of the good activities of the citizens. The sixth part of all the good things, pious activities that they will do. But if he allows bad things, bad activities, he will ripe the bad karma of all citizens if he allow sinful activities. So it is a very, very big responsibility. If you are a good politician, this is very good, because a real politician, he is really preoccupied for the good of everybody. A good politician, he is sacrificing his private life, he is living for the good of others, and this is very, very attractive to the Lord. He appreciates very much this attitude to be always preoccupied for the good of others. So politicians, they are in the Varnashram society, they are the Kshatriyas, and Kshatriyas are almost as good as Brahmanas. The Kshatriyas, the kings, they have the better education, almost like Brahmanas. So they must be very nice people, faithful to God, faithful to scriptures, and trying to be the best of all. Because in this way, citizens are thinking, who is the best among all of us? We want to select, to elect the best. So politicians, they must be the best. In that way, they must represent the Lord. They must represent God. And to represent God, I must follow His instructions. So, as we were saying, the first instruction is to love citizens as their own sons, with a complete equanimity. As King Prithu, I was reading from King Prithu, because when the earth was in a very great problem, after Vena was ruling, King Vena was ruling the earth, but in a very bad way, because he was a very materialistic person. He didn't believe in God. So everything was in a very sad condition in the earth. So the sages, they pray for help, and Prithu Maharaj, he came with his wife Archie. Prithu means that he is the son of the earth. Prithu means one who has love for the earth, for Mother Earth. So he was taking care of all the earth, not only citizens, human beings, but also animals and nature, everything. He was taking care of everything. And there, in Bhagavad Purana, we can see his qualities, how he was very, his equanimity. I would like to read a little bit. For example, it is said that like the earth, he tolerates when opposing parties disrespect him, and is always merciful to the suffering people. Equal to all beings, powerful Prithu, shining like the sun, levies taxes and release funds at the appropriate time. This is also instructions given by the Lord, that politicians, they must be like clouds, like a cloud. The cloud takes water from the ocean, from rivers and from the ocean, and where it is needful, they rain. So this is the example given by Lord Krishna, that the politicians, they can take taxes from citizens, but also they must give what they took from citizens when there is a need. In this way, everybody will be very happy, and there will be justice, equilibrium in the society. Prithu is the best upholder of Dharma. And Dharma means what is the best for everybody, for man, woman, in all social position. If you are king, if you are an intellectual person, artist, or if you do merchandise. So Dharma is taking care of everybody, looking after his happiness, his world welfare, materially and spiritually. So, yes, also Krishna wants us to be happy, not only to have something to eat or a place where to sleep or how can I dress myself, but Krishna wants us to be really happy and to become liberated when we will leave this body. So the vision of Krishna is very, very high, very absolute, for our absolute good.
Maharaj, you mentioned about taxes. You mentioned about Krishna wants everyone to be happy. But we have seen in US, in all other countries, especially democracies, the taxes are constantly increased. And in Bhagavatam predicts that when the taxation is so high, people are going to run away to the forest. So what is your advice to the politicians on taxes?
Yes, I was just reading from Srila Prabhupada. He said that politicians will increase taxes, and citizens, they will try to hide their possession, their goods, and they will not want to pay more taxes, and this will be something very catastrophe for the government, for the state. So this thing will happen Srila Prabhupada says, this is also announced in the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Citizens will be suffering because this increase of taxes. So it is very important to be very transparent, very correct, a correct person. No? Taxes are not my money. It is the people's money to distribute to everybody, as brothers, because politicians are like the father and mothers, so they must like to see all their sons in a nice way, to see them happy, without anxiety. So now the society now is not looking after happiness or peace. It's only looking after money and something to eat, what will I eat, and where I will sleep, something like this. This is compared to animal life. Too much concern with the body. But human life must not be so concerned with the body, but more with the spirit, with the mind, with consciousness, not so much with body, because all necessities for body are already arranged through nature. Our earth is very benevolent. No? Earth is very there is sufficient food and everything if we do things in the right way. So the bigger concern should be happiness, love, peace, real knowledge. This is as Vedanta Sutta is saying, no, Atato Brahma Jignasa. Now you must go after knowledge, not after food or after money or after mundane pleasures. All these things are very cheap, no, but the real value now in human life is in consciousness. So Krishna wants politicians to have a good consciousness, a bigger consciousness, spiritual consciousness.
I'll ask you another question on Bhagavatam. In many places, as per the Vedic scriptures, which is very sacred for many people across the world, irrespective of nationalities. Now, it is advised that the taxation should be maximum 25% of expendable income after the basic necessities are met. But in some countries today, the taxation is almost 52%, 55% in Europe, which is very high for regular people. And the second thing is defense budgets. One of the major duties of a politician is to protect the citizens. And that's why they take taxes. So what is your view on that, Maharaj? What do you advise to the politicians? Some of the politicians are watching, so thank you.
Wow. Yes, because there are no facilities. I think because there are no facility for many people, there must no. Yet because there is no a better consciousness, so there is a lot of enmity between persons. We are not giving real value to human life. I think that the problem there is in the education. We must educate in the school, universities. We must educate people to learn, to love we must love among ourselves. We must have this conception that all of us, we are brothers, and we must help each other. There must be this society and education must be in touch with goodness, sattva guna, and not raja guna. No? In Bhagavatam also it is said that cities are in raja guna. Raja guna means competition. Competition means that I am not your friend, I am not your brother. You are my enemy, you are my adversario, adversity. No, you're not my friend. You are competing with me. So the education is taking this direction. We are not friends. We are estamos compitiendo, ¿no? Competing between us. No? So education must go to goodness, sattva guna. We are friends, we are brothers. So in this way, there will be no needs to so much to expend so much in protection, no? Because there will be better feelings. As in Europe, no, they did the union, the European Union, so there's no need to fight among themselves. No more fighting. We are creating union, no. So, but this union must go more deep, no, more friendly, more brotherhoods. If there is no better consciousness, it is impossible to have a better economy. Everything becomes worse if there is no good consciousness. And a good consciousness will come through spirituality, through religiosity, hearing from the highest. Hearing all these instructions that comes from Krishna.
Yes. In Mahabharata, it is said, "Dharmo eva hato hanti, dharmo rakshati rakshita, tasya dharmo nahantabhyo, mano dharmo hato prati." Means, dharma destroys those who destroy dharma, and dharma protects those who protect dharma. Dharma cannot be destroyed by anyone, and dharma destroys those who try to destroy it. That's a shloka in Mahabharata, and it's very clear. What you're explaining is that when people uphold the principles of dharma, then dharma themselves protect it. And Krishna says that whenever dharma is destroyed, sambhavambe yuge yuge, he comes down again and again to protect it. So if Krishna is the ultimate protector of dharma, what is the politician's role in it?
What is the
politician's role in protecting dharma?
Oh, yes, very important. Best thing would be to teach everybody Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Purana, no, as my spiritual master was saying, that it is violence not to teach these things. Mahabharata, where you will find Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavad Purana, it is so important, Ramayana, because it is the Lord himself coming to the earth to teach us. So how you will not hear him He is coming to teach with his own example. He's not only talking, but he's also showing through his example how to be a very right king, sacrificing everything to be very correct. So yes, politicians they must defend Dharma, and so they must teach Dharma. But Dharma is already taught by the Lord, so it is a very easy. And there is Bhagavad Gita, there is Bhagavad Purana. So it is a must. It is really a must to make known Bhagavad Gita. It is really a shame, a big shame to hide this knowledge. So big knowledge, so practical, so clear, so helpful. So in education is the basis of everything. If there is a spiritual education, people will be satisfied with the spirit. So the people will be more happy, more satisfied with easy things. Now we're in a society so complex, so expensive. In order to be happy, it is very expensive. I must buy a lot of things. It is so artificial, So everything becomes more hard. And everything can be more so easy, as my master was saying, a simple life, high thinking. Our real happiness is in high thinking, because we are consciousness, we are conscious entities. So in highest consciousness, we will achieve a highest pleasure. So consciousness is important. And this is Dharma. The Dharma of human being is related with consciousness, not with material things. Dharma this is our duty, spirit, consciousness. And Bhagavad Gita will teach us consciousness. Krishna says, those who learn this talk between me and Arjuna, they will worship me through their intelligence. So their intelligence will begin to work, a spirit, consciousness, and there will be happiness, satisfaction.
Thank you so much, Maharaj, for sharing this. And one last question, and I think many people are watching. So now, recently, an Indian American, Kamala Devi Harris, was appointed as a vice presidential candidate for the U.S. In the U.S. elections, and
Wow.
she's an Indian American. Her name is Kamala Devi. Her mother is a practicing Vaishnava from Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, but she rejects the teachings of Bhagavad Gita in the US. And she thinks that it is very dogmatic, and coming from an Indian background, she still rejects it. She says she's something else. Now, this is the condition of leaders which are trying to fight for the top positions. And you may choose not to answer this question because it is very, very political. It's connected with the current politics in North America. But my question to you is, and you said it so well about Dharma, you gave the example of Prithu Maharaj, you gave the example of Bhagavad Gita as a principal book for Dharma, and you also explained Dharma as a principle of righteousness. But most of the politicians, and some of them are watching, so please hear this last answer of His Holiness Atulananda Swami. So, what is your message to people who reject, especially politicians who reject the teachings of Bhagavad Gita given by Krishna?
Yeah, this is a very, very sad, no? How one, how can one say, how you may say that Bhagavad Gita is dogmatic? It is not dogmatic because it's very open. Krishna is very, very open in Bhagavad Gita. He says, everybody is coming to me. He says, I love everybody. It is not dogmatic. He is respecting everything. Those who worship his universal form, those who worship his Brahman, no, his Paramatma form, Narayan, Krishna. He is saying, go to a spiritual master and learn from him in a very open way. Look after the one who know the truth. So it is very sad to hear something like this. Somebody rejecting Bhagavad Gita. I think that the one who rejects Bhagavad Gita, he is the dogmatic person, no? Because we are very open. We are also open to Bible, Quran, or any spiritual scripture. We are completely open. Those who follow Bhagavad Gita, also, all of them are completely open to all religiosity, to all kind of spirituality. This is the idea. You can see there that they respect any kind of sadhu. Everyone who is after some spirituality is respected, is appreciated. There is no dogmatic thinking. You cannot say that Bhagavad Gita is dogmatic. Is the most open book. Krishna is not condemning anybody there. He is only condemning those who are against Dharma. As you were saying very nicely, this is sloka from Mahabharata. Those who are against Dharma will be destroyed by Dharma. But this is not dogmatic. This is a reality. It must be like this. You say that the governments are spending a lot of money for defending. Yes, this is for defending Dharma. Everybody must defend Dharma, the correct things. So it is intelligent. There is a very nice saying: when wise speak, the wise hear. No, when the wise one speaks, the wise also hear.
Right.
So if somebody is rejecting Bhagavad Gita, I will say, well, he's not a wise person. Sorry to say, but he's not a wise person. Because the wisest of all is speaking. And you don't want to hear. So if you don't want to hear Bhagavad Gita, for me, means that you want to hear only nonsense. What can I say?
So there is one, the congressman has to leave. He's leaving. But congressman, thank you for joining and listening to this conversation. And before you leave, if you have any questions, you can text me and I'll ask it to His Holiness. All right. So thank you for joining. And the next show with Swami Atulananda is on Varnashram, the system of governance for the society. And don't miss that topic and miss that discussion, all of you. Maharaj, do you have do you want to send a message to all the people who are watching this show?
Thank you very much. Well, first of all, as you can see, my English is very limited. I am very limited by my capacity of speaking in English, but thank you very so much for hearing, for inviting me also. I want to congratulate all students of religion. So important. Religion is the highest science, the highest philosophy, and the best answer to all problems. So the more we are religious, this will be better for society in general. It is a very big duty to give this knowledge, this eternal knowledge, from whatever religions may come, for whatever religion may come, is very most important. So I am very grateful for you inviting me, and very grateful with all who are hearing. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So all the viewers who are watching live, this was the message of His Holiness Atulananda Swami from Chile, and he is one of the biggest gurus in that region, and also for the whole world. Guru is for the whole world. So please do join for the next show, and keep watching this current show. Thank you all for joining. Namaskar. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.